It's been a while since I've done some live readings on YouTube, so glad to be back and want to talk about the current energies and maybe pull some cards, do possibly some zodiac readings. We'll see where we flow to here, but I definitely want to discuss this energy that we're in. I titled this live stream The Beautiful Unraveling, as that is exactly what is occurring collectively throughout humanity. And what is unraveling? Everything that has been contained, balled up, held in. And we have a powerful, potent full moon in Libra that I also want to talk about a little bit deeper about the energy, what it is actually bringing to the surface. Because yeah, you could talk about it's Libra and it's all about balance and relationship, and well, that's the theme. But really, what we're looking at is, do you know your own ticking time bomb inside? Are you aware of that? Where have you been keeping the peace at all costs? Um, or keeping the peace at the cost of losing yourself, pretending everything's fine, and maybe so stuck in that pattern of I'm just going to keep the peace, everything is fine, the mental gymnastics that give excuses over and over again for not being true and authentic is finally coming to a boiling point. For some, we've got a lot of Aries energy. This is that energy where one person's happiness in the relationship is the other person's prison. Hi, Martin. Happy New Year. That's right. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for reminding me. Well, here where I am, we're still the 31st of March. But yes, tomorrow, April 1st, is the official new year. So happy New Year, everybody. um, so yeah, wow, what a potent, powerful, hi Lisa, potent, powerful full moon energy. Are you experiencing it? Are you feeling this? Let me know in the comments what's going on with you in your life if you feel like sharing. This moon, this full moon, is in a square to Jupiter. And also, well, we'll get into that. The sun and the moon are both in a square to Jupiter. And Martin says, "Ooh, yes." So let's focus on that for a moment, because anything that is being challenged with Jupiter is going to expand. It's going to make it bigger, more expressive, more expansive. So where's your focus? And the moon is definitely always about our emotion and uh, the emotional intelligence that we hold within. So my suggestion here is to expand your consciousness out, zoom out. Hi, Amy. I'm so glad to see all of you guys here. Yay. So yeah, don't get trapped in the squares. Don't get trapped in the challenges. Don't get trapped in the traps, let's say. So Venus, as of today, I believe, has moved into her home sign of Taurus, which is very, brings us back to our true nature. Venus in Taurus is about our values of nature, and I'm really feeling that this is it's very grounding, but Venus is in a square or tension or challenge to Pluto, the transformer, the underworld. So the shadow of this full moon that I'm picking up is really highlighting issues. And we're talking about our relationships, our relationship to others, our relationship to, it could be also money, but because of Venus and Taurus. So I'm going to try to list or give you all of the things that could be arising right now. Because I know last night I had a wave of energy that came through for me and brought up old fears again about my relationship to money. And I was aware of it. And I said, no, not going there because that's old. That's an old energy. So Venus, the ruler of this full moon, the ruler of Libra, the ruler of the full moon, is in a square to Pluto. This is highlighting issues around dependency, control. There's a lot of control and power dynamics going on here. And if anything has been like lingering under the surface, boom, it's come to the surface now. Trust me, I have had some experiences today, or witnessed, let's just say, I've witnessed some pretty potent experiences that other people are having, that were telling me the entire story of this full moon. Lisa, I have been having big experiences and big internal exchanges. Yeah. And it's big. Jupiter. That, I mean, when I talk about the squaring aspect to Jupiter, this is big. It has come to a point where it can no longer be contained. Whatever has been pushed down cannot be contained anymore. Hi, everybody. um, okay, interesting. Sorry, let me just do a little cleanup here. I do ask that everybody keep their comments on the topic at hand. We're talking about the full moon in Libra, along with all of the challenging aspects that come along with that, and the unraveling of our small selves, of our hidden aspects of ourselves, so that we can elevate, evolve, and expand as we are. There's no going back. All right, so first topic, Venus in a square to Pluto, highlighting, like I said, issues around dependency, codependency, control, obsessiveness, jealousy, issues around value and worth, big time. And this is most likely in the relationship dynamic, but it can also be relationship dynamic maybe at work. And suddenly you're realizing I'm worth more than this. I am not being paid for, I'm not being valued, right? Um, Amy, let go of materialism and embrace divine gifts instead. Yeah. Oh, and there's a lot of this. Hi, Jess. There's a lot of this beautiful, if you're able to zoom out and expand and see that that your higher self, that the entire cosmos is speaking to you and really trying to help us all see where we've been trapped, where we've been stuck, where we've been playing too small, where we have not been evolving and growing. Hi, Tori. Oh, hi, everybody. Yeah, it is a great day. I'm having a great day. And I really like just put out there that I'm talking about the shadow or the challenging aspects of this moon, because even if we're having a great day, we are still connected to that collective energy where we can feel the undertone of like, ooh, something's going on, something is being stirred, and we're a part of that. So when we stay in our heart and our heart, brain, heart, mind coherence, and we are at a beautiful state of awareness, we are holding the frequency, the tempo, the element for others to really unravel and allow themselves to be seen and allow themselves to see themselves. So relationships to others or even money, these are going to be exposed. It's being exposed at this time. Relationship imbalances, power dynamics that are out of balance will be exposed. The sun and the moon both squaring Jupiter in Cancer. um the emotional shadow aspect of this, because Jupiter in Cancer again, so that was Venus square Pluto. Pluto, the transformer, the underworld, bringing up all of this jealousy, envy, things that we don't want to see in ourselves, but we can clearly see in others. And one of the videos I had, I think I titled it "Seeing the Me in the We." So it's very humbling. And the more that we can do that, and another thing, remember that we're tuning forks, right? So I had a beautiful example today. I work with an autistic who is, he's 25, but he's like a 4-year-old in a 25-year-old body. And he got this wave of energy and just lost, he could not get grounded. His family had a really rough time with him last night and this morning, and I took him into nature and was able to get him to a state where he was releasing, he was crying, um he was grounded, but I could see in his eyes the waves of energy that would come around. I could see when it was my turn to be tested, because we're going to be shown where we need to evolve, or, and I was very well aware of it, where if we're getting triggered, it's almost like a sting, how are we going to react and respond? Can I bring myself back into a center grounded space? So I found myself doing that 2 or 3 times today, but overall holding the energy and the vibration in my heart, and finally I had him completely stabilized after about 6 or 7 hours of that. um let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Aries is very loaded. Mars is about to, oh boy. Mars is about to enter Aries. Yeah. Lisa, I found for myself being of service is helping me to keep my heart open and grateful. Yes, same here. And yes, Aries is loaded. And I'll get to that too. Um, and talking about the power and control dynamic, this can happen in children. Everybody wants to see, there's elements, wants to see like how much can I control and get my way, right? So I had to find, and maybe you do too, either with your children or with other people, or somebody who is autistic, like I was explaining, where you can have these boundaries, but then you got to bring it back to a grounded, centered place, like not getting walked all over, but at the same time, not taking things so personally. See where things come out that you weren't aware of. Um, we're talking about the full moon. For those of you who are new here, welcome. We're talking about the energy and the astrology of the full moon. So the sun and the moon both are in a square to Jupiter and Cancer, and this is emotional. The emotional shadow aspect that arises here could be arrogance, pride, self-righteousness, self-centeredness, doing what you want to do at all costs, ongoing excesses, over the top, overindulgence. These are all the traps. So it's a beautiful opportunity to see ourselves yet again. Welcome, welcome. Yes, so happy to see you all, and glad for all of you who are new here. Okay. Um, Another trap in this energy could be glossing over things that really you emotionally have been feeling for a while, especially in relationship dynamics. Everything's fine, pretending like everything's fine. You're making excuses, trying to make, the codependency patterns of like, I don't really like the feeling of what's going on here. How can I gloss and smooth it over? And not really taking self in account for what's going on. So the imbalance is what's really being highlighted on during this full moon energy, which we're in, and it's coming, it's like expanding into the full moon, which is exact tomorrow, or maybe depending on where you're at. I did not write down the time. And then will wane. We have a few days after the full moon that really, there's a lot. This is potent. It's big stuff. Again, mostly about the relationship dynamics, and that fire inside that maybe you didn't even realize. Emotions, feelings, values, worthiness, self-worth, that maybe you didn't realize you were not giving to yourself. That whatever's been like kind of the undertone in relationship, if it's been out of balance, it's going to come to the surface, if that makes sense. It's going to really, if you're glossing over any sensitive areas or weak spots in your relationships, this will be highlighted. Our relationships to each other must evolve, or your relationship to the dynamic must change and evolve. Issues around control, jealousy, like I was saying, obsession, betrayal, codependency, dependency, relationship imbalances, such as shared values, could even be spiritual values, material values, could arise in a big way here. Thank you, everybody. I thank you. I see a gift there, so I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody here. Let's see. Okay, so we have the in Aries, the planet of fire, the warrior, what I want to fight for internally, the I, the me. We have the sun, Saturn, and they are in a conjunction working together. We also have Chiron, our core wounds that we were born into to work through, evolve, and grow from, to be and heal for our ancestral line, for ourselves and our ancestral line, to become wiser. And Eris, goddess of discord, who's been betrayed, and the deep inner rage that sometimes people don't realize that they have. Martin has a relationship problem with coffee. They're all in a conjunction with Venus in Taurus. So I've definitely been seeing and sensing and feeling all of this energy and witnessing it in others. But the most important thing to remember. I'm sorry, are you guys still there? So I had a phone call and it froze me. Give me a thumbs up if you're still there and you can hear me. Yes, okay. Sorry about that. I had a phone call, an interesting phone call from somebody I have not heard from in a very long time, too. So pay attention to all of the synchronicities and signs and the patterns that are arising as well. So talking to more of those who are definitely aware you're on a mystical, magical path to self-discovery, right? Good. I'm glad you're all still here. Thank you. Yay, we're all still here. Okay. where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about before I got that phone call. But really, truly, these energies aren't here to punish us or to make us feel bad. It may feel like a lot of fire or a lot of tension, and you this energy could have passed, and you're just witnessing it in the collective or in others. People rising up, having a voice. I was talking about this the other day in one of my videos. I had this energy arise for a smidge, even through YouTube, when I was like, I checked out my video, one of my videos, recent videos, and I was watching it from a different channel, and I noticed other on my regular channel that the view didn't go up. So I was like, that's interesting. And I had other friends go in and view, and the views didn't go up. And part of the anger inside of me is like, man, that sucks. That's not fair. Something not being fair. Wanting to be able to speak up and say something. I definitely have taken the steps on this journey to speak up, but my fiery energy of like, that's not fair, has got to go. That's not serving. It's not serving me. It's not serving anybody else. I understand the dynamic now of how the energies are working and showing where we need to evolve and grow. So, seeing the me in the we, that is the bigger picture. And I did write a quote, famous quote from, you guys know who, will say, many people have different ways of saying his name, whether it be Jesus or Yeshua. And I may have butchered the quote, but it's very, very important to remember. It's a metaphor and all the same. Why do you see the splinter in your brother's eye, but not notice the log in your own? Truly, to get to unity consciousness and hold that consciousness, because we want to protect that. We want to protect our consciousness in the propaganda and all the energy swirling around. If you spot it in someone else, then you've got it. You spot it, you got it, right? And take accountability for that. Thank you for showing me. I definitely was tested and challenged and was able to be at a space where I was very thankful and thanked the person, thank you. And I got it, you're welcome. But I truly meant it. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that this still lives in me. And it's definitely something that I would like to change. So that's what I have as far as the astrology goes, guys. Let's get into some cards. Where do we want to begin? Oh, whoops. Been a little while since I pulled from the, I remember what it's called, the Psychic Tarot. Anybody else want to share any of your experiences or realizations even? There's a lot of like aha moments, clarity. We're coming out of the like giant fog machine. I truly feel like I'm coming out of a long winter's nap. So I invite the fire, that feisty fire, but not in a fighting way. I don't need to fight. Too many to say. It's been a lot, right? It's been a lot, but all very valuable. When we can really take time to ourselves and reflect and ask ourselves, our higher selves, like, what was this showing me? What was that showing me? How can I grow and evolve? The chat doesn't allow long enough messages. I love it. That self-reflection has been since Mercury has gone direct, I noticed that for me, the self-reflection, I'm always doing self-reflection, but the clarity is coming through like, oh, I see that. Oh, I get it. And not taking things so personally now, gratitude, right? It's like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are, I'm so glad you guys are here and on board with all of this. We needed to unravel. Unravel it all. What is the message for this collective group here? Please? Thank you. Just the first card out. Positive movement forward. I'm so glad you could make it too, Jess. It has been a while. So glad to see you. Positive movement forward from a long winter's nap and some emotional waters that we've had to navigate for sure. And I do see that positive movement forward. You know, the whole, and it's interesting. There's so many different sayings in the spiritual community, and that's not to say anything is right or wrong. Things can be very helpful when they need to be. The whole let it go and let the energy flow is so important, especially for somebody like me who was always like felt like I needed to like have a little had have my hands on the steering wheel and control. um Boy, I have learned a lot from the trusting and letting go, that what I'm desiring to um for the energy to experience is flowing to me. And when I try to do any kind of control, it slows it down or it messes it up. There's been so much going on the last month. Haven't really had time to stop until today. I'll tell you, there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on for me. February, I can't even talk. Was a difficult month physically. March was a lot going on, but in a beautiful way. But like at the same time, yes, so much going on. It's this way, no, it's that way, it's up, it's down, it's everywhere. And now I feel like finally I've landed into a place of more trust, deeply more trust that what is meant for me will never miss me. Also, trusting in the journey that I signed up for. And all of it, this pertains to all of us. The soul contracts that we have with others, those who having love and compassion and empathy for those who have signed up to play the polarity, to play the hard stuff, because I saw that today and my heart just went out. Like, you had such a difficult role. Being the difficult one is not easy either. um how to remove fear of kundalini rising, please guide, I can't sleep. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Don't be afraid of it though. It's very natural. It's a natural occurrence. So what you want to do is understand that you are definitely going through a physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, energetic, complete reboot change. So you want to treat your body, you want to treat yourself with as much nurturing as possible, and ground, because sometimes when that energy spikes up into the upper chakras, you can really become ungrounded. And that's where the fear lies. It's like, I can't control any of this. Get yourself out into nature, bare feet on the ground, saltwater baths. If you can get near a body of water, water is very important. It is the conductor of the energy. Martin says parasympathetic breath work can help. Yes, definitely the parasympathetic breath work, EFT tapping also. Yeah, yeah. It's very natural, and everybody, all the people commenting here have gone through it, so you're not alone. And it is a very natural. We're not taught this, especially I don't know where you live in the world, but in the Western cultures, it's like it's becoming more known of, but there are certain cultures where when this is happening, it is very sacred, and the tribe cares for the person going through it because they know this is a sacred passage into um a, like a birthing of sorts. So you want to treat yourself that way, and anybody else that can help Amy Territory with her Kundalini rising. Yeah, Amy says, do anything that will raise your vibration. You are not alone. Yes, yep, yep, yep. Um, what happens after this go out from brain? What happened after this go out from brain? One of the most important things to remember is you really can't think your way through the Kundalini rising. Um, you're not crazy. And the mind, the part of the mind that wants to control things may start to say that. Um, and there's a lot of different symptoms that can arise when we do try to control it. So there's definitely some good advice here, and I feel like we probably do need to have we should have support groups, I would say, for going through this, because I know I went through it, and it's a rite of passage. Slow yourself down to pay attention. You have your higher self and your spirit guides. Your team is with you. And they are guiding you to the right places. I know I was guided to the right information, and how to help me. Because maybe what helped me isn't going to help you, but the biggest thing is to what would help everybody going through this is grounding all the time. And when you're not in your body, get yourself back in your body. Tapping, breath work, um, and like I said, the Epsom salt baths really help you get back into your body also and your frequency. All right, so we have positive movement forward. Heart chakra. Martin says, you are the receiver. There's a broadcast out there that only you can tune into. It's unique. Yes. Thank you, Martin. I think I was trying to say it that way. Okay. Ooh, yes. I like this message so far. Overall, we have the third eye. We have a lot of chakra cards that arose here. So maybe all of us are getting a recalibration energetically within our chakra systems. But we have third eye chakra. Definitely have had a boosting of the third eye activity for myself personally, which is very helpful. But understanding what you are receiving and you are picking up in your mind's eye and your dreams are very important, and very important guidance and messages of assistance through this stage of the journey. There is definite positive movement forward. And we have the heart chakra, as we know, that is very important to always remain in the heart and brain coherence. If it's just the brain going on and you're not in the heart, then you're going to be completely disconnected. So, love of self, self love first. We can't put out this unconditional love frequency to anything or anyone without the self love. And we have obstacles and challenges. So, we're going to dive a little deeper into what this message is about the so while we were talking, okay, they're saying we were talking about the obstacles and challenges in the astrology report. So whether it be your relationships to others, your relationship to life, or Aries Libra dynamic, or the polarity of Aries and Libra, sun in Aries, moon in Libra, is self. How do I interact with others? And where have I, this moon is highlighting in these challenges, where have I been disconnected from myself in my relationship to others? Or where am I not connecting to others? Where is there an out of balance relationship there? And that's part of the journey. It's important that we're not hard on ourselves for any of the journey as we awaken, because I know in my journey, I had to completely go in, like, devolve first. I was at an evolved state. I was born there. I was very well aware and extremely psychic and third eye activity and everything up until probably 30. Till about my dad died. Devolved back down suddenly. And as a Libra rising, I understand this part of my journey. We all have different, we have different birth charts, different paths, but we all have a devolving of some sort in part of the journey. And I had to lose myself in relationship in order to then have the awakening to evolve out of that. And through that, the hero's journey of evolving and growing, you go through the stages of grief, you go through the stages of blaming the others, being the victim. Then you want to be the savior, the rescuer of, like, oh, I see everything. There's so many different stages of the soul's journey, the hero's journey. Yeah, de-learn to relearn, says Martin. That's right. Let's see. Yes, rising Christos. Is there any support group of spiritual people feeling alone? Oh my goodness. They're everywhere. And even here, we're definitely a source of support for you all. Again, I don't know where you live in the world, if you need that physically or online. And that's a great idea. I could actually write that down and possibly start offering that, because I do work out of a healing retreat called Solace Farms Day Retreat. We're always like bouncing off ideas of what we can do, and we have tried some online things before. So an online support group for people going through the spiritual process, feeling alone, might be a great idea. I know I hold them in person, but we're in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania, so I don't know where you live. And so they they do exist, but thank you for that idea. I think maybe I'm going to throw that one on the table and see where it lands. You are a Libra too. Oh yeah. So you're feeling it. All right. Let's get a little deeper into this. Okay. And the shadow side of Libra, from my experience, and not just my experience as being a Libra rising, but my experience in having friends that are Libra sun, just understanding the archetype so much better, is that sometimes we do give ourselves away in order to keep the peace or to please the group or the others. And then that's a harsh lesson to learn. It's not to be, um, it's, or to see where you go into the opposing, because the other side of Libra is Aries, where we may, and I recall doing this too, where I've given too much of myself away in my past, given too much of myself away, and I recoil back to myself and it and not give it all. There's a balance, there's a middle ground there that we find on our journey, on our path. Tell us about positive movement forward, please. Ooh. Overgiving. Yes, Martin. Yep. Overgiving. Overgiving, people pleasing, codependency. Also, the rescuer archetype comes to play. We have awakening with the Six of Inspiration. Let me just get all the cards out here. Oh, no? Okay. All right. Now let me slow down a little bit. Love this. I love this so much. The moon is rising right now, says Amy. It looks really beautiful. They call it the pink moon. Oh, I can't wait to, I can't quite see it yet because I'm in the trees, but it does get to a certain height, and I'm sure it'll be here soon. It is beautiful. So there's positive movement forward through this awakening journey, awakening to self. And the part of this journey, I did read, and I'm not trying to cut, because part of the journey is like, I remember talking about toxic relationships, and that's become a buzzword in the community for quite some time now. Again, going back to what I was talking about in the astrology, when you get to a state of unity consciousness, you're able to see yourself and others, seeing the me in the we. It doesn't mean you stay in unhealthy relationships, but what are those relationships teaching, showing you? What are they showing you that you possess as well? Because if you can see it in another, if you spot it, you got it. Isn't that what I said? And then the whole Jesus quote of, why do you see the splinter in your brother's eye when you cannot see the log in your own eye? That's a hard pill to swallow in the beginning of the awakening journey. So I will never throw that onto anybody, because we do go through the stages of I don't want to say victim consciousness, but I suppose that's it, because we have been hurt and a victim of very unhealthy experiences for the purpose of evolving and the betterment of ourselves. Oh, he just took a picture of it. Lovely, 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 lovely. We have the Six of Inspiration also with the awakening. The important part of the awakening journey also is to remember that you are the director, screenwriter, and actor of your own movie, of your own game. If you look at life as a game, and you are in the avatar of yourself, your soul, your oversoul is in the controller, but remembering that you are the star of your show. Lisa says, I do see myself in others, and it's quite interesting, isn't it? It used to trigger the crap out of me, even though I knew it. It's a humbling. It's like, oh, I see it. And then you got to get over like not beating yourself up or being hard. It's all about getting out of judgment, which is easier said than done. And I'm not going to knock anybody for judging anybody. I've done it It's part of the journey, but eventually you get to a point where you're like, okay. You get to a stage, this positive movement forward when you're in the heart, you get to a stage where you're grateful for all of the toxic or difficult relationships and what they were showing, because they were all beautifully played actors and actresses. Hi, staff out there. And I remember one morning I woke up with this realization, like, I just started clapping. I'm like, well played, well done. Not sarcastically, but wow, I'm so empowered. I would never have gotten to the stage of just feeling so free and so strong, and not in a I don't just strong, yeah, strong in myself, where I don't look to people, places, or things outside of myself for validation or for my safety and security. It's a journey. It's a journey. Amy says, during my awakening, I was grateful because I found all the cracks within me to fill with love and understanding. And then I could love and understand others. Exactly. Until you get to the point where you like love and understand yourself. And that's another, because the ego gets unraveled. The not dissolving of the ego, but there's layers. We have layers and layers and layers and layers, and it's still getting unraveled, but it gets easier. The more you allow, the more you let go, the more you trust, like, okay, all right, keep showing me. And I feel like there's a fast track going on now for people. I really, truly do. I really, truly do. All right, let's get into, whew, my incense is like blowing in my face. Let's get to the heart chakra. Hmm. And another thing that's coming, that I'm being reminded to share, is that we come to these realizations like, I see it, I get it. But we're in a spiral of energy, and we come back and revisit all the different layers and weak spots, trigger spots, wounds, deep core wounds, hidden wounds, blind spots. So we get to see more and more and more. So it's not a one and done, it's all over, and let's keep flying. No, no, no. It's a journey. So the more you can give yourself love and compassion, and just be like, oh, I mean, truly, it's taken some very strong souls to decide to incarnate on into the construct of Earth and this gameplay that we're in. It is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. And those who have like not been able to even get a glimpse of how important it is to love yourself and others unconditionally and be in the heart. Um, and there will be, we always need the contrast. We need those players to play the perpetrator, not to bring us to victim, but to help us evolve out of that, expand even further. All right. We can keep expanding and keep expanding. I mean, it's infinite. We're still like at the very kindergarten, not even kindergarten, the very basic level of our evolution as humans, as far as like what we're capable of. We're not even energetically upgraded all the way. Our DNA is like some of it's still dormant. Although many are going through the Kundalini, that's the first stage of waking up the energy chakras, and you do go into the deep abyss of the self, and it can be blissful and it can be horrible all in the same day sometimes. And just having compassion for yourself when you're going through that. Every day is different. One day at a time, one moment at a time. Be very present. Practice presence, practice stillness. Protect your consciousness keeps coming back to me too. When you get to a state of consciousness, conscious awareness, there's always going to be an opposing force trying to pull you out of that. Protect that for yourself. 3 of materials. Yeah, I think we already covered that. And that is the others. Being in our heart, loving yourself, and throwing that love, compassion, unconditional love to all our brothers and sisters, children, mothers, fathers. um, but what I'm picking up here is that this is about a collaboration of, dare I say, star seeds, light workers, those of us who are like, we are aware that being in service to others on this journey is extremely important and valuable and helps constantly bring us back into the heart. The communities are building. We're coming together. Stay in your heart. Trust that. Trust that. And for anybody who is in search of that, put it out there. I'm going to mention it to Solace Farms day retreat about doing an online support group. I think it is needed. And I'm sure that there are many others out there. Ask your spirit team, just put it out there into the ethers, and you will be directed to something that resonates for you where you're at on YouTube. YouTube is a great resource for these things too. I could give you recommendations, but everybody, we don't all resonate with the same thing. What helps one person may not be helpful for another person, and vice versa. Obstacles and challenges, please. Yeah, I think it's important. I think we need to do that. I think it would be amazing too. Obstacles and challenges. Thank you. We have the Empress. Queen of emotions. So we're faced with constantly in this energy. If you find yourself at a point where you feel like you've got to jump over something, you may fall. I'm sorry, I'm being pulled into another direction. But the Queen of Emotions is staying in the heart, honoring honoring your emotions, your emotional waters, but then also honoring the emotional journey of everyone else's. There could be obstacles and challenges to that, is what I'm picking up here. But overall, we do have this is a beautiful reading. The Empress with the third eye chakra. There's divine wisdom here. Divine feminine energy, not gender energy. The wisdom of the soul, the wisdom of intuition, the wisdom of emotional intelligence lives within. The wisdom of the cosmos lives within. The Empress energy is this fertility of creation. We are constantly creating. When we recognize, and we're constantly creating from our energy field. Not like I'm going to make something robotic like we have been taught, but we are constantly creating our reality, the gameplay that we are in through our emotional and energetic field. And there's so much potential to co-create something incredibly powerful and magical and loving to support the entire collective of humanity that is going through the awakening process right now. And we are a part of it. Every single one of us that is here. Beautiful. Let's get one last, what do we want to pull for the moon? Starseed oracles calling to me again. Hold on, I'm picking up one more message. I'm sorry, I could hear my grandson crying downstairs and it threw me off for a second. So there's those obstacles and challenges sometimes that like makes it difficult for us to stay center. We're going to get pulled off center from time to time. Bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself back to the heart. Bring yourself through breath, through presence, through conscious awareness. Martin, like being the support in the middle of a bridge, helping other like-minded across before it's gone. Yeah. I don't feel like the bridge is going to be gone though. I really don't. I feel like we are the bridge, right? Oh, and rainbows have been very, like, that's been a potent theme around me for quite some time. Okay. I lost it. So we're going to pull one last card here from the Starseed Oracle. There's a lot of disturbance in the field right now. That could be the obstacle or the challenge. Whether it just be in your personal world, whether it be in your home, your community, whether it be just in the energy to begin with, the propaganda, everything out there in social media. Protect your energy and your consciousness through, especially through this full moon cycle. Hello, spiritual awakening, Scorpio. All right. And actually be grateful for that too, I'm hearing. And that's true. Be grateful for the obstacles and challenges. Be grateful for, I used to complain. Sometimes I still do because I'm human. We're all in a human form. We're all, yeah, it's like they have a chaos energy spell over us. Exactly. Oh, and the EMFs. Yes, thank you. The EMFs, all the artificial frequency, the chemtrails, all of these things. And I get pulled and distracted into that. And then I find myself putting my energy, putting my potent energy there, placing blame there. We are more powerful than that. We are so much more powerful than that. Do you have any idea how powerful we really are? I got a good taste of it. When you don't let yourself get pulled into the rabbit hole of, I know what they're doing. I know that like these towers up here are taking me here. And yes, it does affect us physically. It does affect us mentally, the brain fog, all of these other things. Drop back, let go, it will pass. But when we get outraged, we're like, this shouldn't be happening. Not to say that we shouldn't be giving awareness of these things. But when we put all our focus and energy on what is taking from us, we're giving it to that. Also, it's a game of energy, and we have the most potent energy you could possibly have in this game. It could be the astrology, exactly. And sometimes it is. That's right. Natural and non-native. Yes. We are resilient. We're stronger than that. They cannot take us down. Not when we don't let them. Not when we have the power and potency of the heart. That heart coherence, it's so important. And the divisiveness. They're saying united. This is not a United States thing either, but I'm just hearing united we stand, divided we fall. So the more of us that can hold this potent love, heart chakra energy, and it's not to give our energy away, but it's powerful. Use that fire, use that passion. Like, yes, we know we want to create a better earth, and we can. Yeah, not when you're aware. When we are aware of our magic, of our power, they got nothing on us. But it's all about beliefs too. That holds a potent spell over our energy. If you believe something to be true, doesn't matter what it is, then you're giving your energy to that. So what do you want to create? What do you want to be true? Good message. Get excited about what you can create. When you got to really believe it. You got to believe it before you see it. That's a hard one. Exactly. Darkness has no power over the light. None. Absolutely none. And when the light turns on, what happens? You know? Earth School. Love this card. Remember, we are in Earth School. And it's like a whole massive training ground for learning and understanding. And we hold the power. We hold the power. We can give that away to all these other entities and energies that want to play on our field, play on our tune, play on our energy field. But also be aware that we are an Earth School. It says life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Yeah. When you change your perspective about life, understand that we are in school, Earth School, learning life lessons. Our soul wants to grow and evolve. It wants to grow and evolve by learning who we are not, by giving our power away, and then evolving to realize, like, oh, wait a second. What? What was I can't tell you how many times I've come to that realization, like, why was I thinking that, or giving my power away, or dimming my light, or any of that? It does no, it does nothing but take from me and take from anybody that I'm surrounding. We have potent energy that we can connect with each other and really elevate this playing field. Let's read what it says from the book. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps with this understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Pulling this card can also mean that you're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or training course. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we grow as souls while we are here on earth. And truly, we cannot know ourselves, all of ourselves, and what we incarnated here, our lineage, our ancestral karmic patterns that we are here to uh, learn from and let go of, unless we have the mirror of relationship to others. And that is the name of the game. What's Martin saying? A is for apple that grows on a tree. B is for busy like a bumblebee. Uh, Amy says every day is a win when experience is the goal. Martin, C is for cat, who got all the cream. Oh, D is for dragonfly. Daisy said dream. Well, we all know Martin knows his alphabet in Earth School. But truly, and trust me, having a sense of humor is important. Not taking everything in life so seriously, very important. Being able to be humbled is important. Hello, Rezia. Hi, hope you're well. Will you marry me? Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing my time and my energy with all of you. I hope that you got something out of any or all of this. And I hope that you take time for that self reflection, take time for yourself, take time for that soul growth that we're going through this full moon and every time, all the time. Um, and just stay in your consciousness, stay in your heart. Yes, and enjoy the beauty of this full moon. It's got a lot of potency to it. We talked about the shadow, but there's a lot more to it that we can evolve and grow and become a beautiful part of something bigger than we could even imagine. That is um, making itself known to us if you have the eyes to see, if you have the eyes to see. So listen to your spirit guides, pay attention to, look at the sky, watch the sky, pay attention to your your surroundings and what is speaking to you in between the lines. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next time, or not see you, but I'll see your comments anyway. Take care. Bye.